Have you ever seen a 60-year-old get gifted an off-road claw set? Well, meet the 2026 Ford Bronco 60th anniversary, the kind of old-timer who refuses to retire. While most people celebrate 60 with custom t-shirts or giant balloon numbers, Ford threw on a Wimbledon white suit, slapped a blood-red vermilion decal on it, and packed it with the Bad Kid combo, Sasquatch package, electronic locking diffs, and massive 35-inch tires. It's a birthday gift that smells like fresh mud when you open it. Let's be clear, this isn't some collector's edition you park in a showroom and dust every Sunday. This is an off-road bruiser, straight from the factory, still rocking the elegance of an old gentleman in a tailored suit, with 66 stitched right into the collar. The way Ford launched this Bronco isn't about softly saying, "Thanks for the memories." It's more like shouting, "I'm 60 and I can still out-hike your entire hiking club." But wait, I hear you asking, "All right, man, but what did the first Bronco look like 60 years ago? And why bring all that retro stuff into 2026? Hold that thought. Great question. But first, let me walk you around the outside. Trust me, this face has more stories to tell than your college reunion.
Look at that face. You don't need a single word to know it just time-traveled straight from 1966, ready to hit the dirt without even fixing its hair. That warm alloy grille looks like a suit of armor, and right in the center, the word Bronco, painted in vermilion red, as loud as a war cry. One glance, and you know this isn't a car for people shopping for patio paint on Sundays. Ford didn't just hint at history. They brought it back in metal, paint, and rubber. Check the 17-inch wheels, painted carbonized gray, with bright red 66 caps that scream retired football captain who now drives up mountains. Cool and nostalgic, the kind of vibe that says, yeah, I've been off-roading since maps were printed on paper. That Wimbledon white? Not random. It's the exact shade from the original 1966 Bronco. Paired with an Arctic white hardtop, it's like wearing a helmet 24/7, retro and sunproof at the same time. And that red side stripe? Don't underestimate it. That vermilion line is a throwback to Ford's early hand-painted body art, and slapped on this modern beast, it's like vintage punk on steroids. Now you may ask, would anyone drive this to a homeowners association meeting? Yes, but only if he's the head of an off-road fan club, wearing a red cap, smoking a cigar, and rocking a motorcycle chain as a necklace. But hey, retro looks are cute. If it can't climb rocks, it's just a tuxedo in a swimming pool. So next we ask the real question. Sasquatch, is it makeup or is it toolbox?
All right, here's where the off-road crowd starts grinning. Don't let the name Sasquatch fool you. Ford's not handing out fur suits or plush monsters. This is serious gear for people who eat dust, crawl rocks, and curse GPS in their mother tongue. What's in the package? Sounds simple on paper. 35-inch tires, front and rear electronic locking diffs, beefed-up axles, 4.7-to-1 final drive ratio, Bilstein Haas lifted suspension, and those wide fender flares. Basically, imagine putting on samurai armor, grabbing a med kit and binoculars, and still being able to sprint. The tires? Goodyear Territory mud terrain. On the road, they hum like a swarm of frogs under your fenders. But off-road, they grip like a pawnbroker's hand on a diamond ring. Every inch forward feels like a claw sinking into the earth. Then there's the 4WD system with GOAT modes, short for goes over any type of terrain. You pick the right mode, and the truck figures out where you're headed before you even know where you are. Diff locks, torque vectoring, trail view cameras. If you mess up off-road, it's not the truck's fault, it's yours. Remember that red stripe we saw earlier? That was Ford inviting you to look. The Sasquatch package? It's how they drag you into the desert and whisper, climb. Now some folks ask, should I get this package just to look cool in the city? Sorry, this beast was made to live in the wild, not to scare interns in office parking lots. Step inside the Bronco 60th and it feels like you've just walked into a weird mashup of a classic Montana whiskey bar and the cockpit of a Cold War-era tank. Cozy, but always one bad mood away from conquering a glacier. Color palette? Yes, there's white, there's black, and then what? The seats come in ebony black with alpine accents, a combo that screams, kick off your boots and tell that elk hunting story again. Stitched neatly on the seatbacks is a 60 years logo, not loud but quietly flexing, I'm not old, I'm seasoned. Dashboard, shifter, door handles, speaker trims, all sprinkled with retro flair. But then you notice one thing that's brand new, a limited edition numbered plaque just below the GOAT mode dial, gently reminding you this isn't something you'll see at every Costco parking lot. The A-pillar grip says since 1966 in bold and boss, a tiny touch that punches deep into the ego. You look at it and instantly know this ain't a demo, this is the real bloodline. But what about amenities, rugged or refined? A 12-inch touchscreen with Sync 4, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and a Bang & Olufsen sound system. Because yes, even when rock crawling, you deserve bass that hits harder than your trail buddy's complaints. Dual-zone climate control, 360-degree terrain view cameras, USB-A and USB-C ports everywhere, heated seats and a heated steering wheel so you can cross frozen valleys and still keep your hands warm enough to, like, Carcry's channel. But is it perfect inside? Not quite. A few panels still feel a bit military surplus, and the buttons are big and chunky, more Soviet submarine than luxury SUV. But you know what? Who cares? This is a Bronco. It's built to wear mud, not mood lighting. If you want eucalyptus oil, ambient lighting, and a wireless charger that floats at a 45-degree angle for easier Instagram shots, go buy a G-Wagon. This is where you roar, then climb something stupid. Now, the most important part, the heart of this retro-styled beast. And as always, Carcry isn't here to just read out specs. We'll dig down to the last rev. On the Bronco 60th anniversary, Ford didn't go with a V8 like the pipe dream of every loud exhaust fanboy. Instead, they picked a 2.7-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost V6. 330 horsepower, 563 newton-meters of torque. Translation? It doesn't need to scream to drag your whole family up a mountain. Why turbo V6? 3 words: weight, efficiency, torque. It's lighter than a V8, builds power early, and when you're crawling up a rocky slope at 6,000 feet, trust me, you want torque, not noise. What's paired with it? A 10-speed automatic, the same gearbox found in the F-150 and Ranger. No, it's not razor sharp like a dual clutch, but it's off-road smooth, intuitive, clever, and composed like it's got its own survival instincts. You can hold 1,500 RPM while climbing a 30-degree hill, or slam through mud up to your headlights and it won't panic. And yes, for the purists, there's a manual shift mode with paddle shifters. Now to the four-wheel drive system. Ford calls it Advanced 4x4 with GOAT modes, goes over any terrain. Not just marketing fluff, it actually adapts throttle, transmission, traction, diff locks, and torque split based on what you choose. Normal, eco, sport, slippery, mud or ruts, sand, rock crawl, Baja. Unlike those fake front-wheel drive SUVs pretending to be off-roaders, the Bronco feels honest. You turn the wheel, engage the low range, and the chassis responds. No cosplay, no filters, just raw mechanical truth. So, engine and driveways-wise, if Bronco were an MMA fighter, this would be the silent type. Doesn't throw a lot of punches, but when it hits, you're out cold. No theatrics, just torque and a cold stare.
All right, time to wrap this up. But hold on, don't click away just yet, because this is the moment you decide. Who is this Bronco 60th Anniversary Edition really for? And is it worth buying? If you're looking for something to chauffeur your boss to a gala dinner, or to drop the kids off at piano class in downtown Munich or Chicago, then please check out the Camry. Let's not waste each other's time. The Bronco is for people who don't like being told what to do. It's for the kind of soul who wakes up and wants to go somewhere, regardless of whether there's a road or not. It's a truck that speaks on your behalf. I might not follow the rules, but I play fair. Is it perfect? No. The seats won't coddle you like a Mercedes. The plastics aren't Land Cruiser tier premium. And at 75 miles per hour, the wind noise might make you think there's a parrot trapped inside your AC vents. But that's part of the honesty. It doesn't try to seduce you. It just asks to be understood. And with this 60th anniversary edition, Ford didn't just slap on some cosplay vintage gimmicks. They rebuilt a legend, the Bronco way. Bold, mechanical, unapologetic. So if you're thinking of a vehicle that can cross deserts, ford streams, and join an overlanding group without being mistaken for a parking lot poser, this one deserves a spot in your garage. And if you're only in it for weekend coffee shop check-ins, sure, go ahead. Just don't forget to remove the mud flaps before taking that perfect shot. Final question for you all. If you had to pick one truck for a sudden, unplanned cross-country journey, would the Bronco make your list? Drop your answer in the comments. Carcry is watching. And if this video made you smile or learn a little more about the Bronco, hit that like, share it, and don't forget to sub the channel, because the next review, it's gonna hit even harder.